Thank you so much, and thank you all participants for joining this session. For us, I represent the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, and specifically the Global Education and Training Institute, where we train about 1,000 civil servants from around the world. And the training is focused on how to reduce disaster and climate risks and how to implement adaptation projects. As you know, I mean, it's already mentioned in the concept also, we are facing an increasing frequency and intensity of weather-related events around the world because of climate change. This is impacting both national governments and local governments, and also, of course, communities and the private sector. It is impacting jobs, economic development, and so on. At the same time, governments around the world are facing very limited fiscal space. COVID has reduced tax revenues. There is an estimate from the World Bank that for local governments, the tax revenues have come down by about 25%. And just at that time, when these revenues are most needed to tackle all these climate and disaster risks, and to build the capacities of not only of the governments but also of the communities and of the private sector to handle this kind of emergencies. So apart from that, what we are seeing around the world is also this. There is a situation of food security. Food prices are going up. There is inflation. There is a shortage of production. Supply chains are disrupted. So this is bringing about economic, social, and environmental upheaval. And this is exactly what should be addressed by a practice policy research link. And that is the topic of this session today. And it is very, very important. And what we have seen is we have also studied why certain governments are able to manage their, or rather manage the response to the challenges in a better way. And one of the factors is whether or not they are taking a multi-stakeholder approach, whether they are engaging with different segments of society, especially the scientists, the research organizations, the universities, because these are institutes which can help to bring practical solutions to the challenges faced by the national and local governments. So there is a very good opportunity here, but also a challenge. And I think today's discussion is very timely because we really need to look collectively at how we can forge this practice, policy, and research link better. The universities and the research organizations and a number of private sector organizations, they provide potential solutions to governments for the challenges that they are facing. They have the data, they have the expertise, they have the skills, they have the technical knowledge. But often we see that these partnerships are not forged between government and these institutions. And as a result, what is happening in research is not translating to policy. And what is happening in practice, the challenges of practice are not reaching the research institutions. So again, we need to have a better partnership, a better network between the governments and these kind of institutions so that we can find workable solutions. There are some good examples around the world. There are science and technology advisory groups at the global level, but also at the regional level, which bring together universities, scientists, research organizations, and governments, both national and local. There are various networks, for example, like the Making Cities Resilient network, which brings together cities and research organizations and universities. But this is a drop in the ocean. We need more of this. We need a more concerted effort, and we need all stakeholders to chip in to understand the need, and to forge these relationships. One of the barriers that I can think of is trust. And again, this is one issue which we need to bridge. The trust between the governments and the universities and the research organizations, trust between governments and the private sector, and vice versa, because the universities can provide the workable solutions for the governments, but the governments need to share their challenges, their problems, and sometimes their data. So these are not problems or challenges or barriers which cannot be surmounted. They can. There are very good examples around the world of how this has happened in the past. But if we are serious about denting or challenging climate change, we really need to pick up the pace and forge these partnerships, these networks, much better than in the past. So I'll leave it at that right now, and then hopefully in the second round add a few more recommendations. Thank you.